Good morning. I'm just going for it. I have a whole bunch of stuff I want to say, and I have prepared this day, March 21st. This is the year anniversary of my best girlfriend's passing, Kelly. And I'm at home today, and I thought, I'm going to dress up. Look, I have a fancy shirt on with glittery things, and I said, I can dress up. Maybe later I'll put on an evening gown. I don't know, and just walk around the house. But I'm not going anywhere and I'm warm, so I figure why not just wear this little thing? And, I'm looking up there because that's where my friend is in a frame. Today is the online, we've moved it online, the March Mindfulness Memorial for her. And I did a lot of preparation for this, and I did a lot of writing that I want to share with you. And I planned this about maybe the end of February. And it's just interesting how it's just lining up with current events. So this mindfulness memorial is about creating comfort for people who are joining in and people who will attend. So part of my research is, we've seen that meme that said, I'm not interested whether you've stood with the great. I'm interested whether you've sat with the broken. And there's a big theme underlining all that. Hey, Angie, how's it going? So if you sat with the broken, and when you sit with people who are going through stuff and who are uncomfortable, it is in your own way of asking that you also want to be understood. You invite yourself and others towards helping relieve suffering for all. It's a realizing a universal awakening, and it's leading all beings to the same awakening. This is an invitation to you realizing your own deep interconnectedness with other beings. That desire to want to connect. You do not see others' sufferings as other or separate. We are all in this together. Again, that theme of we're all in this together. And this is just my preamble to the mindfulness memorial that I'll hold today at 11:30 for my best girlfriend who passed away 1 year ago today. So this was kind of my research. I'm inviting you to all join with me at 11:30. It's probably going to be in a Google Hangouts, but it's an opportunity to learn and practice the culture of love. You may feel drawn to this opportunity or other opportunities that are coming up in this time as well, as you desire to experience a sense of richness, one that allows you to expand the warmth you have for others towards yourself, actually. So that which you feel and that you give to others who are suffering, now we can also return this to ourselves. So again, what I'm reading is what I've prepared for the March Mindfulness Memorial, in saying that your attendance is a generous action towards a journey outward to include others, and a journey of experiential communication with yourself and others. What is this known as? Compassion. To be open and communicative. It feels warm, inviting, where you have the freedom to expand and relate to others with your actions and words. All you need is the aspiration to put others first. While we inspire, literally take a deep breath, taking deep breaths of the sea air. We had planned to be on the ocean. We are going to listen later today to words of inspiration from helpful teachers that will guide us through toward a deeper connection to understand ourselves and others. Perhaps putting others' suffering has called us together because we don't practice alone. While meeting on the beach, we're going to have to imagine it, okay? Being on the shore, we are figuratively entering the ocean together. You can imagine as you wade in the water, the action of the waves begin to take over, and soon your feet aren't even touching the bottom as the current begins to lift you. You hearing the cries of others and have the courage and desire to respond, realizing that we are the same waves in the ocean. Once we stop clinging to the one wave that we call the self and open up to the whole ocean we are all in, the tension between benefiting oneself and benefiting others can begin to release. There's a really cool Japanese ceramic technique called kintsugi, and it can be seen as a metaphor for this journey of practicing love culture. In kintsugi, the artist takes a broken ceramic object and reassembles it, holding the pieces together with gold, silver, or platinum. Imagine how beautiful. I think you've probably seen pictures of the ceramic online. The cracks are not to be hidden, but to be made beautiful. Like ceramics restored through kintsugi, each of us can experience priceless growth from disappointment and heartbreak. And isn't that what's riding the waves is all about? Love will never be easy or pain-free, but we can trust that there is strength and beauty in it, especially in all the broken places. Love is invitation to be brave and messy authentically. And we must first extend this invitation to ourselves. While we would like to stay open to the suffering in the surrounding world, we must also include ourselves among those worthy of care. How does one practice balance self-care with a deep commitment to be helpful rather than harmful? Everyone has aspects in their lives worthy of gratitude. To do this work, we must somehow sustain a practice of caring for suffering beings while also finding the joy and contentment to celebrate all that is wondrous in our lives, especially at this time. Again, this is something that I wrote up in preparation for the mindfulness memorial for my girlfriend's passing 1 year ago today. We show concern for the world and respond to that concern with powerful words and actions to benefit others in every possible way. We aspire to be someone capable of benefiting all beings, not just in meditation, but throughout daily life. This is not vitiated by people's bad behavior toward you or others. So today, Saturday, the 21st, we're going to dedicate or continue on our path for the welfare of all beings. We recognize that this is our interconnectedness with everything, our universal nature. If you watched my live video yesterday, I talked about Buddha nature, universal nature. It is in that interconnectedness where we experience the pain, confusion, and neediness of others, where we are able to develop our skills, responding to that suffering as we would respond to our own, with compassion and with power. So how do we do this? We need to make an effort to learn how to relax. We practice together and just do. So this is what we're going to do today at 11:30. During our experience together, the goal would be to bring to mind an experience when you felt friendliness toward, maybe insert your person's name who passed here, or when you felt the joy of that kindness towards yourself. Okay, so we're going to bring that friendliness that we feel towards others or when we felt that for ourselves. This creation of energy has the power to release burdens and oppressions and to change the course of things through our actions. It's somewhat intangible and hard to explain how we can be around certain people and just feel better. But this is the start. So we gather together for this express purpose, so we may practice and develop this creative energy and use its potential. By focusing on the other, you are not thinking so much about yourself. We can be keenly observant without being judgmental. Does that bring a certain person to mind? And being in the moment. It feels spontaneous and unplanned, but perfect timing at the same time. Today at 11:30, my goal is that we will cultivate the desire to be comfortable with everyone and interested in everything, even amongst the strangers. We may not always figure out what the best thing to say is in any situation, but by remaining spontaneous, we go with and move from that aliveness. And if we guessed or said the wrong thing in return to the honing of our intuition. We do this by setting an example and practicing, essentially, love. I will re-recite the invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer if you did not catch it one of the other live videos that I posted in the March Mindfulness Memorial that was specifically in the event there. But I will reread it because, again, I will end just with this invitation for you to join us at 11:30. And the Mindfulness Memorial, again, is in honor of my best girlfriend that passed. But this can be for anybody who just desires some comfort in their life right now. The invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your own heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine and your own, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine and your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, be realistic, remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself, if you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul, if you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me to know who you know or how you came to be there. I want to know if you will stand at the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you've studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. I'll see you today, 11:30 online. The event is public. I will post the link hopefully for Google Hangouts where you can join me today for the March Mindfulness Memorial, remembering anybody that was important to you that passed in your life. And today honors my girlfriend, Kelly, who died 1 year ago today.